I have two new gouges and I need handles. I turned one tool handle in the previous video. I'll turn the second one in this one. And I'm having second thoughts about that first one. I rescued a couple of perfectly good tool handles from the firewood pile. I really love that handle, but don't like the length. I cut thin slices off each end of the firewood sticks to check for cracks. No cracks? No cracks. First, I need to cut a tenon. I try it on for size before removing the piece from the chuck. This is dry alder, and my lungs do not like alder, so I'll wear my air shield. Turning tool handles is excellent opportunity for skew practice. I'd be more comfortable with the tool rest just a little higher. Okay, that's enough with a skew until after it's round. I find it faster and easier with a roughing gouge. At times like this, I wish I hadn't put a radius on the skew. After paying close attention to other turners' videos, I'm finally learning to turn a bead with a skew without getting a catch. Long, thin, dry spindles are prone to vibration and chatter. I switched to the parting tool to give myself more space to turn this bead. That's why I wanted more space. A big mistake with this one was not drilling the hole first. Had I done that before turning the blank thin, if the hole had come out not quite on center, the cone would create a new center and I could turn from there and end up with a handle with a hole in the center. That's why I should have drilled the hole first. See why people advocate steady rests. I switched to a smaller bit with a brad point in hopes of restarting the hole farther down. My hand is no substitute for a steady rest. I'll see if a 1/2-inch Forstner bit is any improvement. The handle is now spinning true, but the hole is not, and the bit naturally follows the hole. Well, it's certainly not perfect, but it'll do. The shaft was slightly larger than the 1/2-inch hole. I checked the diameter again. 33/64. I don't have a 33/64, of course, but I do have sandpaper. I wrapped some 120 grit around the knockout bar. The top inch or so is wide enough now, but the bottom is still too tight. I don't want to enlarge the mouth of the hole, so I tear the sandpaper short, remove the paper backing, and wind it around the knockout bar again, relying on the adhesive on the sandpaper since I won't be able to hold it with my fingers. It's still a snug fit, but I think I'll be able to drive it in without splitting the handle. Inch to go. 1/2 inch. 1/8. You can tell by the sound change when you've bottomed. I use a drop of CA to hold the braided fishing line. The air is so dry in my shop, the CA needs a little help to set up. Okay, 2 drops. And accelerator. If I had ferrules the right size, I'd use them, but I don't. I thoroughly saturate the wrapping with CA glue, and it's finished. There it is, bottom feeder with a good handle. And that brings us back to the bowl gouge handle that I made much too short. Okay, this will be a tool handle to replace this very nice tool handle I made. Way too short. Okay, now this shaft came out to be 5/8 exactly. First you need a tenon. Not sure what this is. Probably tell, I think it's alder. For the chuck I was planning to use, the tenon has to be less than 5 millimeters long. I'd forgotten the chuck I'd planned to use had a bowl in it, so I had to use this chuck with the shark jaws. The tenon could have been 2 inches long. I tightened the chuck just enough to hold it while I brought up the tail center to the center. Could drill it right now. Could have and should have, but I was afraid a little knot might require me to shorten the handle. I should have drilled it anyway, and from now on I will drill the holes before I turn, every time. You'll see why. Turning this handle is just like turning the other one, so I won't waste your time showing all of this in real time. Now here's another big mistake, reducing the size of this before I drilled the hole. It needs all the strength it can get, and I'm taking strength away from it. And I'll pay for it.
Better drill the hole before I get thin.
Too late now.
I might end up getting a steady rest someday.
The human hand is not a substitute for a steady rest.
Starts out straight and it starts going off.
I didn't realize the camera was not getting this.
Must be some irregularity in wood. It's pissing me off.
At last, I thought to turn off the damn fan.
I need a long 5/8 drill so this can't wander.
Not realizing that my lathe isn't long enough for a longer drill bit.
I have a 5/8 spade bit. Grain. Does not sound like a good idea to me. I cannot get all the way on the lathe. Okay, so that's the new center. I guess you want to watch too. Put the cone in there. It does not spin true. I will retrue everything to this hole. See how it goes.
The fading chatter tells me when it's true again. The closer I get to the chuck, the less wood I have to take off.
What I'm going to try to do is guide this.
I don't have a straight 5/8 drill bit, so I'm using a 1/2 inch to get a hole that doesn't have curves and bends in it. It may not be exactly parallel to the shaft, but it will be straight.
That's deep enough. Trouble is, it's a 1/2 inch, and I need 5/8.
I enlarged the hole with a Forstner bit as far as it would go.
That's not going straight. You can tell that by the way this lines up with the chuck.
Next, a 5/8 spade bit with a longer shaft to get to the bottom of the hole.
This is going to be harder to hold, I think. Yep. Well, for better or for worse, we got a hole in there that is 2 3/4. Not very deep, down to about here. Wait, let's see if we can get a little deeper. without destroying everything. Spade bit does not like end grain. I don't either. Try a slightly different design. Not as good as the other one, and the other one wasn't any good. Could go 11/16 and put in a lot of epoxy. Clean it out with this one. 11/16 is going to put in a lot of epoxy and some shims, I think. Turn it up a little bit and risk my life here. That is one dull bit. Oh yeah, look at that. Wasting my time. So now, what it comes down to is how badly do I want to get rid of this short handle. This is going to go in there. Mighty sloppy. Go up to 3 1/4 now. Oh, meow, meow, meow. Definitely want the long handle. And while I'm there,
Committed now to the new handle, I cut off the tenon with the bandsaw.
my glue holds on pretty well. What would be nice is to leave some of this on here. Absolutely. Fit more snugly in the oversized hole. The built-in shim. Okay.
Because that hole is not straight, I have to figure out which way I want the misalignment to align.
Because I want it so that when this is up, the handle is also up. Definitely don't want it sideways. Flute needs to be here.
I was beginning to wonder if I'd mixed enough. I didn't realize I stepped out of camera range to tap the handle onto the shaft. My junior high school shop class mallet continues to serve me well. Good to the last drop.
Could have used a little more, I think.
As usual, I made a ferrule out of braided fishing line and CA glue. Finally, I'm finished with tool handles, at least for now. Thanks for watching.